Hello, and welcome to episode 42 of High and Outside, an irreverent sports ball podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, thanks for checking us out. I'm Oz, and as always, today I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, MC Commish.
And it is your birthday, sir, so happy birthday.
Thank you. 1 year older. Don't feel much different. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at AOK Worldwide. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of every pod and some new content coming soon, including NBA Top Shot opening. Commish and I both have packs to open. We're going to open them. We're going to record them. We're going to react. We'll put that on YouTube.
Hope for something
good. See it on our socials as well. Speaking of our socials, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and then check out our episodes on iTunes and Spotify. Please rate, review, subscribe, comment, all the things that you can possibly do. We'd love to hear from you.
And then did you mention YouTube?
Yeah.
Kind of zoned out for a bit, to be honest.
You can find our YouTube channel at AOK Worldwide as well. And with that, Commish, let's rip the one-hitters.
All righty, Roo. That Salvi pickup to end Tuesday's game was slick as hell when the Royals beat the Angels 3-2. Steph Curry passed Wilt Chamberlain as Golden State's top scorer. Eddie George hired as Tennessee State's head football coach. Julian Edelman retires. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about with that. The Wizards snapped the Utah Jazz's 24-game winning streak. Ohio State sits at the number 1 2022 college football recruiting class at the current moment. The MLS starts this weekend. NFL draft is in 15 days, which we'll talk about that closer to that time. The NBA playoffs start in 38 days. NHL playoffs start in 27 days. And Aaron Donald allegedly punched a guy. And if I got punched by him, I would turn into confetti and bone dust.
Yes. As we've established, you are frail. But that would also be the demise for many to run into a fight with Aaron Donald. He might be like last on the list of people in all of sports that I would want to run into in a fight because he's literally like physical perfection.
Yes. It's like lighting my own house on fire.
Getting into a fight with Aaron Donald.
Getting my nuts ripped off somehow. And then third is like fighting Aaron Donald. Like, oh my God. That would be painful. Lots of pain.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Donald is just like made to wreck quarterbacks, wreck offensive linemen, and then apparently wreck dudes who try to fuck with him in the club.
Yeah, it's something that had to do with a bottle. Yeah. Which, that guy had some cojones. Like, I want to know the leading up to the context. We'll never know, really.
Probably not. But
that, yeah.
We all know how it ended.
Yes.
I don't think you should see the other guy coming out of that guy's mouth. I think nope, this just happened to me. I tried to fight.
It's like, remember Blue Streak? When Martin Lawrence got stung by the bees, right? And he looked like his face was all messed up. It's like
that's what he looks like,
but without the bees, actually getting punched in the face by an NFL football player. To be honest, any pro athlete.
He looks like Harry Potter after he gets hit with the stinging jinx. And
yes,
I mean literally, he looks like he took a stinging curse to the face,
to
the dome,
dude. Right? Oh my God. But to be fair, everybody pretty much knows that would hurt.
You mentioned Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, no longer in the league. And
34.
You don't want to have the Hall of Fame conversation?
No.
Yeah, neither do I.
I really don't.
The rest of your stuff, super cool. Eddie George, I like this trend that has started of HBCUs, of really famous athlete, returning NFL players and stuff, going back to coach HBCUs and draw attention and notoriety to those programs because I think it's really cool.
And a lot of unfortunately, a lot of HBCUs are
underfunded
and in danger.
Right, exactly.
So it's awesome that that's doing that.
So I think we can move right into
what's the haps?
What's the haps this week? Commish, something I've learned in the podcast biz in my year.
The game, the grind, the industry.
The year-ish that we've been doing this podcasting venture. Can
you believe that, actually?
Yeah, it's pretty wild that this has been going on for a year and that we're on episode 42.
A Life, the Universe, and Everything. Douglas Adams. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Way to go.
Okay. I was just wondering if you're familiar.
I mean, I'm familiar with the book. I just didn't catch the quote.
Okay.
So, but we are a year into this business. And what I've learned is the game is obviously all about content. You people who are watching this on YouTube, we all know that our world is driven by content at the moment. And in the biz, we got to find content. And sometimes content is easy. We had the Masters last week, when it's Super Bowl week, even when we have the NFL, content is easy because that, again, meat and potatoes of this podcast.
And
NFL.
It's the most popular sport in America. Yeah.
But sometimes it's not as easy to make content because the
Blood from
content
stone,
guys
if you
don't
will.
have too much in store for us. So,
And then there's always the dead sports days. It's like the Mount Rushmore of so-and-so.
yeah, like there's
Yeah.
just we can't always have something major going on. This week, for the first time in a while, because we had the tournament right after the NFL playoffs.
Kind of like when we started a sports podcast when everything shut down.
Literally.
Do you know
Our
that
test-
story?
Our first
Oh, yeah.
our first few episodes, we've podcast about the XFL. And then like 2 months later in college basketball. And like a month later or ish, the pandemic happened and
We were recording, and he checked Twitter, and all major sports leagues have been shut down.
yeah.
It's
this
like,
was the
holy
night-
crap!
This was the
is
night
awesome.
of the this was the night of the Thunder Jazz game where they just shut down the NBA
Next
and
day, cut
canceled
it
that
out.
night, and then all
Cut
of the
it
college
out.
basketball conference tournaments started getting canceled, and so we're like a year into this, and some weeks it's just harder to get content. So we're gonna do a quick NBA check-in, talk about what's going on in the NBA for our listeners who rely on this podcast for your NBA updates. There are better sources. I'm just letting you know, but I appreciate your loyalty and hope you keep coming back. And for you, I'm going to get you some NBA today. We're going to give a quick status update on the standings. We're going to talk about the Jamal Murray injury and what's happening there.
That sucks.
What it's going to do to Denver. Then we're going to dive into the MLS. Shout out Sporting Kansas City. Commish is rocking it. I'm back here.
They start this weekend.
MLS comes back this weekend. We're going to touch on that just briefly, kind of talk about if we're looking forward to it, blah, blah, blah. Then we got a Masters recap version of the Clubhouse, followed by the weekly ING, and
That's about it.
yeah, that's it. Highs and lows. So
Como normal.
there's
Como
kind
siempre.
of the plan for the day, but what's the house? We're going to start NBA check-in. Commish, have you been watching much NBA basketball?
Like a little bit. I watch highlights, but every once in a while I'll catch like 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of baseball.
Hey,
Yeah,
you do you.
I am.
I have been picking up my NBA viewership, trying to really pay a little bit more attention now. We're getting closer. And Commissioner, are you familiar with the play-in tournament this year?
Yes.
So
We talked about it earlier.
right.
A
So
couple
in
episodes. Yeah.
most years we would have 8 teams from each conference and just make the playoffs. If you're the 8 seed, you play the 1 seed in the first round, and so on and so forth. This year, the NBA, in an effort to both deter people from tanking as much and also to make up for some of the weirdness of this pandemic season, the NBA is having a play-in tournament. So each conference, if you are in seeds 7 through 10, you are going to participate in a play-in tournament.
Yep. Awesome. On board.
It's going to be pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
And I believe it's only one game. So
So like baseball's wild card.
yeah. So basically the
Awesome.
way it works is the seventh place team and the 8th place team will play each other in a game. The winner of that automatically becomes the 7 seed in the NBA playoffs. The loser goes on to play the winner between the 9 and the 10 seed. So the winner of the 9-10 plays the loser of the 7-8 game, and the winner of that game gets the 8 seed.
That's awesome.
I think it's going to end up actually working out really well and like creating some really intriguing games. There's currently some teams that are a little bit frustrated that they bargained for that right now. That's kind of been coming to light. Luka Doncic was talking about how he thinks the play-in game is really stupid because Dallas is currently the 7 seed. And,
Yeah, seems like it depends on the perspective you're looking at the tournament.
I would
right
agree because I think
I wonder if they're biased toward their own interests.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I think it's going to create some cool intrigue and there's going to be like people like it's going to make that race for the 6th seed now like an extra race, right? Like the extra race now is like not only are you going to make the playoffs, but you got to try and get to that 6th seed so that you don't have to play in the play-in tournament and potentially go home after 2 games. Like it's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it. So
I don't think there's like it's just there. I don't think I have what I'm trying to say here. It seems very like there's no doubt it's going to be awesome. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
It sounds like a great formula and just sounds awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a big fan of the I think it was Simmons. I mean, I know it was Bill Simmons. I can't remember the exact structure, but he always had he had always talked about there being a tournament for like the teams that don't make the playoffs, and like the winner of the tournament would get like an extra draft pick or like something like to try and
a nice steak dinner.
Well, no, it was going to be like pretty sufficient, but yes, the idea. But it would encourage people to like try to make the playoffs because if you're the 1 seed in that tournament and there's a legitimate prize for that, like there's like incentive, and this is like getting there. I still think it would be cool if there was. I mean, let's just have more basketball. Like, what's the problem? So, all of that being established, let's talk about where the NBA stands like now and who's kind of in that play-in range, like who's looking at these play-in games. There's not a ton of regular season games left, so we're getting down to it. In the West, Utah, you just talked about Utah running off 24 straight. Utah's the 1 seed. They are 41-14. They are very good. Donovan Mitchell is
Puppy pals.
Donovan Mitchell is arguably in the MVP conversation. Like Gobert again is great defensively. I don't really care for Utah personally, but they are a good basketball team, and they're probably going to be the 1 seed. Phoenix, love Phoenix. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, like that team rules. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
The Clippers,
they're 39-15.
Yeah, they're a game and a half back from the Jazz. They're 2 games up on the Clippers, who are in 3rd. The Clippers have kind of found their rhythm lately. Paul George and Utah Jazz, or Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have gotten it going. Some of their role guys. You had a pun that you missed, I think.
No, I was my head face palm about the dogs.
Well,
Wife's gone, so
it is
I'm
what
trying
it is,
to.
guys.
Yeah.
He's working as a single dog dad right tonight,
Currently.
so we're doing the best that we can.
Yeah. Oh, speak of the devil. That should help. There we go. All right. C'est la vie, right? Let's, yeah.
Hot dog.
You mean soggy teddy bear? That commercial
in the West.
tangent, that commercial bothers me a lot more than it should, because like the thought of just a soggy teddy bear is just I do not like that. Like I'm not losing sleep over it, but I kind of like when it comes on, I'm like, oh God, ugh.
It seems to be really affecting you more
Apparently.
than anything.
Well, like, yeah, back to sports.
The 4th place team in the West is the aforementioned Denver Nuggets. That's tough to see them do it. I mean, I think that there was a section of the NBA like media and fans and whatnot who would have probably said the Nuggets are a potential like Western Conference finals team or like a finals team because with Jokic like potentially winning MVP and Jamal Murray and the added depth with Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter, like they looked good, and now it's hard to see them doing much into anything without Murray, who
was having one of the like best years of his career, and just as a team is like 21 0.2 points, 4 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and shooting 47.7% from the field. Like, that's not. You don't want to lose that.
Yeah,
That's pretty and it sucks for him too. Like him being the best, like one of the best years of his career is like, fuck, man, that sucks.
Yeah, and he was finally starting to find it a little bit. He actually had been he had been hurt, and then he came back, but he had finally started to really find like what he found in the playoffs last year. Because remember, he went off in the playoffs and took them to the Western Conference Finals, and he was starting to do that again. And all of his numbers were on their way up, and then he gets hurt, and you hate to see it. Injuries are part of this sport, so it is what it is.
Just looked goofy how he landed.
But it just it sucks that it happens, and I think it's going to be tough for them. I think they're going to make the playoffs, but it'll just be tough.
Yes.
To go deep into the playoffs. The 5 seed is the Lakers. The Lakers have actually won a few games lately, which is like they were struggling mightily without AD and LeBron, which of course your whole team's built around those two guys. You're going to struggle, but they've kind of tweaked out a couple of like wins that maybe you wouldn't have expected them to the last couple weeks to kind of keep themselves out of that set, because I think that's the big fear, is that without AD and LeBron coming back, like do they end up in the play-in tourney because the West is so deep,
sink
to the bottom of the lake?
Yes, or do
Hopefully
they
not.
Float? Keep it
afloat.
true. Yes, keep it afloat.
Well,
row the boat, if
they've
you
got
will.
a 2.5 game
gently
lead.
down
They've got
on
a
the lake.
2.5 game lead on the Portland Trailblazers right now, and they're comfortably 4 games ahead of the Mavericks for the 7 seed, because I think that's really the only thing that that's the only thing you want to avoid. Like if you don't want to be the 6 seed, obviously you'd rather not play the Clippers in the first round. Like you'd rather be a better seed, obviously. That every team wants to be a better seed, but
there might be something
I think you
to
just
that.
want to avoid that play-in tournament, because you can lose 2 games in a row and you're done.
Yes.
And that's, for a team that at one point everyone had anointed them as the prohibitive favorite, like that's what you want to avoid. I still think LeBron and AD come back and they are probably the prohibitive favorite.
Yeah, they just need their best
get back and
players.
healthy.
Yeah, there's too many good teams for them to be a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Without LeBron and AD.
So the 4 teams in the play-in tourney in the West right now is Dallas and the 7 seed, Memphis and the 8 seed, and then the Spurs and the Warriors are 9-10 right now. The Warriors have a 1-game lead on the Pelicans, and the Spurs are 2 games ahead of the Pelicans. So that's kind of the group of 5 teams, the five teams that we're kind of looking at for those 4 spots. I think the Mavs will get in because Luka's too good, and Kristaps and those guys, they're going to get in, I think. Memphis, I love Ja Morant and what he's done this year, and I hope that they make it. And I think they'll get one of the 5. I hope that they stay in that 8 spot so that they don't. But also, I would love to see the Steph. I know you're a big Warriors guy, so
yeah,
you'd love to see Steph and those guys get in, even though that team, it looks like Wiseman might be out for the year now.
Yeah,
which is tough.
Injuries have not helped them.
No. But Steph reminded us, whatever it's at, Sunday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
He broke the point. Took the scoring title and then dropped 53, right?
Right, he dropped 53 to, Steph reminds us every once in a while that he's still fucking awesome.
Yep.
And
one of the best
if everybody
shooters.
could shoot like him, then they'd have to change basketball.
Yeah.
So he's legit. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd love to see Zion get in the play-in tournament. So if you had asked me, of those 5, who do you want in? I'm good with, you've got the Spurs.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah.
They're not exciting. They're just competent because they're the Spurs. They have Greg Popovich.
They just keep going on. Play basketball.
Keep on keeping on. In the East, the Nets and Sixers currently tied for the best record in the East. I think the Sixers have the tiebreaker. Those 2 teams, we know what they are. Embiid is back. Embiid looks great again. He's back
again.
Back just dominating.
Guess who?
The Nets, we know what they are. We know what they are, but we don't, because we know
Kyrie
they have so much talent, but I think him, Durant, Kyrie, Durant, and Harden have only played 6 games together or something where they're all 3 healthy. So we know what they are in the sense that like we know they're talented and we know we've seen them play well together, but we still don't really know how good they are, I think.
But they're still pretty damn good.
No, I'm saying I think we don't know like how good they are. I think that they can only go up from right now. Like I don't think they're going to be worse than what I think they are now. I think they're only just going to become like more and more unbelievably like good.
Yes.
Milwaukee, we know what Milwaukee is. The Hawks have been great since the deadline.
Flying high.
The trades that they made have worked out, and the change in the coaching staff, the change in the head coach has. I mean, it's been good for Trae Young. It's been good for that team. They've, rallied off some wins, and now they're firmly in the playoffs, which is what they thought they were going into the year. The Celtics are mediocre and disappointing for most of their fans and the people who thought that they were the up-and-coming team in the East. It has not been a good year. They've also suffered many injuries. The Heat, a little bit of a disappointment, just expecting that.
Also a little bit injuries.
Yeah, it's like similar to the Celtics, except I think people still feel better about the Heat, this Heat team, than they do about the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Hornets have been fun as hell. They were more fun when
injuries.
Yeah,
Man. Good players going down.
They were more fun when Melo was hurt or when Melo was healthy. But I love seeing Devontae Graham get lots of minutes now, and they're still hanging in there. Miles Bridges is just like
rock chalk, baby.
Rock chalk. Speaking of like dust and bone dust and like obliterating people, like Miles Bridges, like he just if you didn't see the Miles Bridges hammer dunk the other night, like that guy's obliterating people.
Yeah, oh my God, that was amazing.
He's just like throwing it down hard.
Oh God,
like
just
a full cock back, just
like dunk of the year. So like definitely up there because it was just a hammer.
It was a hammer. The Knicks, the
Knickerbockers,
the 8 seed right now,
the New York Knickerbockers,
which is pretty cool. Basketball is more fun when the Knicks are good.
It's been a long time.
2000.
I mean
the Carmelo Anthony Knicks were not good, but they were like playoff team
competent
every year. Yeah, so that would have been like the mid to late 2000s. So 2000 early 2010s. So it's been a while since they've been really good. I mean, there's the Linsanity moment.
That was a weird 3 weeks.
But again, when the Garden is rocking for basketball games, it's fun as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad the Knicks are like hanging in there. I hope they make the 8 seed. The Pacers and Bulls. The Bulls are fun now, especially with Levine and Vucevic. Like that seems to be working. So the East is like, the West is like kind of like a murderer's row, and it's like all these teams are pretty good. The East is like, they're not all pretty good, but they're like kind of fun in the way that they're bad. It's like the Hornets aren't quite really there because they don't have Melo anymore, but they're still fun because they have guys like Miles Bridges and Malik Monk and Devontae Graham and Scary Terry Rozier. Like,
they play good basketball.
Yeah, they're fun. They like to get up and down. Like, it's a fun team to watch. The Knicks are fun because it'd be fun to have like playoffs games at the Garden, and like they're kind of a young, fun team, and you could see like if they win a couple, if they like say they get in as the 8 seed and they like
win the play-in,
and say they get in and like then they're the 8 seed and they like take a couple games from Philly, like shit's gonna get hot like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get. So I'd love to see the Knicks get in. And then the rest of the teams, it's like the Pacers, Bulls, Raptors, Wizards. They're like all equally like dysfunctional but also kind of fun to watch in their own ways. So bring them on. The one team I really wouldn't care to see in there is really the Pacers, but I just haven't watched very much Pacers basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I agree with you. The very astute, if you will. That's a good description of the East. I like that.
I think we need, I mean, I really wish that we could get, in the same way that the Knicks being good, basketball's better. Like, basketball's also better when the Bulls are good.
Yeah.
So just have it because those Chicago and New York are great basketball cities.
Chicago Bills.
I would just rather, it'd be cool to have them both in the playoffs this year. So that's kind of like where we stand in the NBA. Just wanted to like check in. You know, we've got MVP race we'll be probably talking about in the next couple of weeks. We're getting close to the playoffs. We'll be following these. Who's going to be on the bubble of the 6, 7 seed to get in that play-in tournament? Who's going to be on that, 10 seed bubble to try and get in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it should be fun.
And it's something different. That's one thing, too. It's never happened before, so it's always new and shiny. Hell yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Sure to be more NBA talk in the coming weeks and months. So, I'm sure we will flow right from the NBA playoffs and NBA finals into the Olympics. So that's going to probably be what carries us through.
It's still going. It's still going.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
I think it's going to happen at this
I
point.
think they're going to make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's happening.
But
better
with the vaccine than out, right? I mean,
yeah. We will talk more about briefly about the Tokyo Olympics.
Do you remember from we are very, very, very excited about the Olympics. We love the Olympics, if you will.
Yeah, this is a very Olympics-friendly podcast. We get, we're blessed this summer, or this, I'm not going to say we're blessed. We get a Summer Olympics this summer, and because of it getting bumped and when the Winter Olympics happens in the year that it happens, we get 2 Olympics in less than a year. Because we have the Summer Olympics in late summer, and then the Winter Olympics in like January, February. So that's legit. We like it. But let's go next to MLS.
It is back.
Sporting KC.
It is right. And
today.
Ivy Funds, apparently. I don't know what their sponsor is this year. I don't know why we're talking about that. Let's actually talk about the soccer. But yes, Sporting Kansas City.
Season
SKC.
opens on Friday, MLS. So, do you remember last year when we were like coming back and it was summer, like sports were finally like starting to think about coming back, and they announced that they were doing the NBA bubble, and then they announced the MLS is back was happening. And
their bubble, yeah.
I was so freaking pumped for MLS soccer, just to have like a live event to watch. Like, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, we went through some shit. Like, I know we're not out of it by any means, but tonight you can watch the NBA. You can watch Champions League soccer today. You can watch Major League Baseball tonight. You can watch college baseball if you have college channels, like college volleyball, like everything.
College baseball and college. Is it softball yet, or is that
softball as well?
Right, I like me some softball from time to time.
I love college softball. Shout out OU, Patty Gasso, Natties for Patty.
Fucking the Frozen Four, which I don't ever really watch that, but
that was Masters weekend as well. So there's like
that's the coolest name.
There's a
for
lot
a tournament
going on, and there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, you betcha. I don't know why. I don't know why I do the things that I do.
Why are you the way that you are?
I think about that a lot. Anyway.
Well, times were wild, dude, because all we had to look forward to was the MLS's back tournament. I remember
I watched a lot of Korean baseball.
Yeah, we were like deep diving on like MLS and like the tournament and all that stuff, and then I like kind of, I fell off. I always like every year for MLS, I like tell myself I'm gonna really pay attention to the MLS this year, because I genuinely enjoy the sport and I enjoy watching it, but I just don't have it hasn't gotten to the point where I would pay attention to it over to like the NBA.
Yeah.
And I just don't have as much time. So like I only follow sporting. So like I pay attention when sporting plays and I watch sporting games.
If it's convenient.
I typically pay attention. I typically know like their schedule every week. I'm not saying I watch every game, but I'm paying attention to their results. Like I'm paying attention on Twitter and I'm following what's happening with the team to some general extent, and I'm kind of paying attention to where we are in the standings. All those things I do pay attention to. I can't watch every game, but I watch as many as I can. But I can't like get to the point where, or I haven't gotten to the point where I pay enough attention to where I'm like, oh, Toronto and Seattle are playing this weekend, and those are two of the best teams in the league. So I'm gonna appointment view that.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't gotten there. I hope to, because I do enjoy it, and I especially I think that the league is getting better from the talent influx is getting better.
It's growing.
It is growing in popularity in the United States, and their teams are growing, and there's more teams now, and they have more publicity with celebrities like Austin FC's is one of the new team this year down in Austin, Texas. Matthew McConaughey is one of their owners. He's been super out in the media pushing this
He just started a YouTube channel where he just chills.
Yes. That guy's awesome. He was on SportsCenter looking like Matthew McConaughey and just a G, and talking about how he can't wait to see all the people at down in Austin for the soccer this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome, and they have cool colors. It's growing. I just still haven't gotten to the point where I'm let's do it. Maybe we should start a fantasy league. That would help me.
I used to play a little bit of fantasy, but another thing too is if I'm gonna watch soccer though, it's I'm just rather watch EPL.
Me too, but I'm trying to
support the domestic league, which is a good thing. I get that, but it's
right.
I can't watch a lot of MLS because I tend to get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
And they're getting better, like I said, but man, some of the first touches, you're just oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely...
But then there's obviously amazing moments too. There's cool shit that happens. I get that, but
Yeah, it's not perfect. I'm trying to, every year, like I said, I try to increase my interest and increase my viewership because, like you said, it's something about supporting the domestic product and supporting the American League, but also I'm just thinking well, if we can keep growing it, number one, the United States will have a better general, men's national team will compete better at the international level, which we already are starting to get there. And I think that's because the existence of MLS in the United States has grown the academy programs and the youth programs that are
the Utes.
Yeah, that are training these kids, and then obviously some of the popularity has led to the media media deals for buying EPL and putting it on our TVs. When we were kids, EPL was not on our TV.
You had to have FSC.
Yeah, you had to have a special channel. Now, if it's the right weekend, you'll get NBC. Regular NBC has EPL. NBC Sports
Saturday and Sunday.
NBC Sports always has EPL Saturday, Sunday. We get if you have the right cable package, you get La Liga. If you get Champions League, all of them.
League One. Yeah. I get Liga MX. I watch that if I try to comprehend some Spanish. MLS, UEFA, you get.
And the World Cup popularity has grown like crazy. So all I'm saying is the presence of the MLS is good for United States soccer in general, and it would be dope as hell if at some point it became as awesome as the EPL. And the only way it's ever going to become that is to continue to grow support, grow money, grow the way you can get the best players in the world to come play for you. So, it'd be cool as hell if when we're 70, we can go and we're going to a Sporting Kansas City game and it's considered
a big event.
Well, it's it's considered a worldwide soccer is looking at it
oh yes,
yeah, some of the best players in the world are playing on that field.
Yeah, I do remember what the Wiz days.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, they played in Arrowhead.
And it looked like shit.
Yeah, and then because there's 10,000 people there.
Well, and it was 10,000 people, and
the rainbow.
They wouldn't. No, those are dope.
Dude, the '90s
do
cut,
not
man.
Talk shit on the rainbows.
The more stylized how they have them now, but the '90s stuff with the the '90s, it was they just looked weird.
Well, the problem was they're playing in Arrowhead, and a lot of the MLS teams were like this. They were just leasing space from the football team.
They couldn't sustain
And
them.
the NFL
yeah.
team, like, they wouldn't always have all the lines off the NFL football field, so you'd have all extra lines and hashes and numbers and shit.
It's come a long way.
Yeah, and now you have Sporting Kansas City plays in Children's Mercy Park, which is a beautiful soccer-specific stadium.
Their stadium, like children, is it?
And it's like, yeah, it's Children's Mercy
Still,
Park,
yeah.
and it's like a soccer-specific stadium, like you'd see in the UK. Like, it's built off of that model.
It's grown a lot.
And that's why it hosts lots of U.S. men's national games. But like,
Plus history.
but like
you,
those types of
league
stadiums and
needs
things
history.
are starting to grow across the country. Like, Austin just opened this brand new facility. It's beautiful. But the point,
UFC.
the point being, I want it to
I
keep
will
growing.
see myself out.
I want it to keep growing. It's come a long way already. So I'm just like trying to support it. So hopefully I'm gonna try really hard to watch more MLS this year.
And we can do a fantasy league.
That'd be dope. It helps me. Like
Like you can do it against everybody. Like you don't need people in a league.
Right.
You just do it like kind of like golf does it a little bit. Let's do it.
all right,
Fuck yeah.
we will be drafting MLS players. We'll
Goddamn
post our
right.
teams.
Yes.
All right. So just to give you a quick update on the MLS before we move on, just a preview of the season. I didn't do any research, but I did look at the betting favorites. So the Vegas odds.
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles FC is the 5-1 favorite, followed by the Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew won MLS Cup last year. They're 6-1. Toronto, Seattle, Orlando City, all around 10-1. Then NYCFC, the Union. Then we get into like the Timbers at 16-1, Atlanta United at 20-1, Inter Miami 20-1. And then like I kept thinking like this feels far for Sporting because
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know anything. I haven't done any research.
right. I think that they're like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they overachieve this 33-1. If any of our listeners out there are avid, really avid Sporting
SKCers.
people, like let us know if you think that 33-1 is a good bet.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We could find a way while we're in a place where it's legal to put a little quiche down on a 33-1.
We are going to
Sporting
Vegas
bet.
in June.
That would be fun. It would be dope if we could get it in while they're still 33-1. If they come out and win their first 5 games, I don't think they'll be 33-1 anymore. Such is the game, as they say.
All right, but I'm kind of bored of MLS.
All right, moving on past the MLS.
Not gonna lie, I want to talk about the Masters.
All right, we buried the lead enough.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
It is time for this week's edition of The Clubhouse.
Goddamn right. It was a tradition like any other. New first-time winner, Mr. Hideki Matsuyama, the first male Japanese golfer to win a major via winning the Masters.
Yep.
And he's basically just gonna end up being a billionaire at some point because golf is very, very popular in Japan, and he will. Yeah, he does. He's a superhero. He's a god. He's up there.
Yeah, I do think that he lights the Olympic torch.
Probably.
I think so.
I mean, who's it gonna be?
Faldo thought. I think Faldo mentioned that on Sunday. Is he'll probably light the torch in Tokyo because.
Yeah.
Who
No.
else
Hey,
would it be?
$1 billion. Yeah.
Golf is an Olympic sport now.
Yes.
So like, talk about some pressure though.
Mm-hmm.
That he might have more pressure now to win the Olympic medal or to win the Olympic gold medal in golf.
Yeah, I don't know.
Than he does. That's wild now.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, and it's if he
profile
plays
is
huge
now.
Yeah.
Well, good for Hideki. He never, he was always one of those guys who
he was always scaring it, and he's won.
Well, yeah, he's won, and he's been around in some other majors. He
won low amateur 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, and he's won a few PGA tournaments. He's had a good career.
He's won one this year, hasn't he?
I don't know about that, but
it's been recent. I remember he won.
he was always one of those guys that on tour they would talk about him as he is a ball striking machine, and if he could putt well, like they're in trouble. Like he's gonna play well, which is exactly what happened at Augusta. He putted well, and
just kept going in. It was awesome.
You give a ball striker a guy who's you have a guy who's a great ball striker, and he strikes the ball well, and then he putts well. Like that's a recipe for success.
Oh man, just the varying degrees of difficulty through the.
And Saturday afternoon was a master class. That might be the best 9 holes of golf or 8.5 holes of golf that we've ever seen. Oh. Not maybe the best, but it's up there.
It was very good.
Incredible.
He was like, I'm gonna make birdies.
I'm just on heater and eagles.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like 5 feet.
Draining everything.
15, like
throwing darts, and the tough but fair, and there was. Unfortunately, the end was.
If you're not a golf nerd,
like us,
the Sunday you could be deemed a little boring. There wasn't, there were a couple guys that Xander tried to make a charge, and that was about the only time that the tournament ever felt like it was in doubt.
But it did not last very long.
Right, it didn't last very long. Like, Hideki hits the ball in the water over the back of the green on 15. Xander makes birdie, hits a great shot out of the bunker.
Yeah.
And then, so we're going to 16T, and Hideki only has a 1-shot lead now, and Xander's made 4 straight birdies, and it's like, okay, this is it. This is what we sign up for. On the tee, Xander Schauffele, splunk.
God damn it.
And it's over.
And then we just coast. Yeah. And then, it doesn't matter
Hideki
how you
still
win.
only wins by 1 shot.
Yeah.
Because he just did not play that well. I mean, honestly,
maintained.
I think it was like Jordan even. All Jordan had to do was shoot like 67 or something, 68, and he would have made it a playoff.
Yeah.
Hideki did not run away with it, but nobody else came through and played well on Sunday. I mean, Zalatoris was playing well. He just couldn't make a putt. Exact opposite of Hideki. I mean,
he was right there. He was close. I always felt like he was gonna have. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, of course you are. 28-inch waist,
dude. Right? And he's my guy. I saw a headline. I think it was on Golf Digest Twitter today. It was like, "Shout out to skinny golfers." I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I mean, Zalatoris,
very skinny and
very small.
He's in the PGA Tour,
dude. He's awesome.
Yeah,
he's very good. He's just when you see him, you're like, damn, that guy is pretty small.
He looked. Oh yeah, and you saw the memes of
God. If they would have put a green jacket on that guy, I'm worried it would have looked like a robe.
It was like pre heart attack Kevin Smith.
I know that they those are all tailored, and they have their sizes and stuff. But
I don't think they have a kid section. But
I'm just worried. Yeah, they're gonna be like, do we have anything in
tiny?
Yeah, really small?
Cadet small. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's my glove.
Oh my God.
Hold on. No, this is a medium. Depends on the brand.
Hey.
Yeah, right. Woo.
Well, you and Zalatoris can probably share a glove. Yeah. Xander chokes again.
Choke job.
Dude, Xander he is top 10 at every major, and he just never put it together.
Seems like he's going through kind of a battle like Jordan Spieth did.
I don't know, man. He's still playing. Jordan Spieth was off the face of the golf world. Xander's just getting 5th instead of winning. Especially at every major. He's a couple of years ago, Ricky Fowler had a run like that. Ricky Fowler finished 2nd at every major one year, and is
come on, bro,
break through and win something.
And then he didn't make the Masters this year. How?
Yeah,
we talked about that.
Yeah, Earth. I don't know. He is going through what Jordan Spieth is going through. He's going through a legit thing where it's just he just doesn't have the feels anymore, and he's trying to figure it out, and he's battling.
Was the last tournament he won Players?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think so. Could have been. He might have won one more. I don't know.
But not
I think it was the Players.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing to see. But golf, man, golf is golf.
Speaking of Jordan Spieth,
fickle.
Faldo made this point on Sunday. Spieth looked good again. I mean, he didn't win, and it did feel like he had a chance there for a little while. He just
made some mistakes.
He made some mistakes, but it felt like on Saturday before the rain happened, it felt like Spieth and Justin Thomas were coming. It felt like here they come, the guys that everybody thought might be the guys.
The momentum.
Justin Thomas in particular was making a run. Like I think he was like 2 strokes back at that time.
Yeah, he did. He had a
made
great
triple
string, right? Yeah,
on 13, and it just killed it. And then Spieth had a couple like errant shots, and
Bogues in a row. I think.
Yeah, and he went from being like, oh, I'm really in it, to like, oh, he's kind of like on the fringe. If he can get hot early on Sunday, then maybe he makes it.
Would the out of the 4-shot window, like whatever? There's no like it's nobody's ever came back from bigger than a 4-shot deficit. So
right.
He fell out of that, right?
Yeah, he fell out, and it's like, but he played well. That my initial point was he was there. He was, he felt like relevant. He felt like he was playing well. He still, has incredible. You'd see him hit incredible shots. He's still got some issues with the driver, and all these things. But I do think Fowler made this point. Watch out for him at the PGA Championship in Kiowa. Kiowa Island is a course that like demands a great short game around the greens and great approach shots. And it doesn't punish driving as much as some other courses. So Jordan Spieth could be a good recipe for Jordan Spieth.
Mm-hmm, definitely. His short game.
Obviously, Rory McIlroy. Woo! Man, he's going through something too. Like clearly, he's not himself. But remember, he won the U.S. Open when it was at Kiowa by like 13 shots.
Mm-hmm. And golf's golf, man. It's tough.
He could show up there and be like, oh, I know how to dominate this place.
Koepka showed up, right?
Koepka came and he tried.
Played, yeah.
Clearly, he was not healthy.
I didn't really ever see a shot of his, to be honest.
I watched him on Thursday quite a bit, and he was doing the whole like put his leg out and do the karate like squat kind of thing, and you could tell he just like wasn't healthy, and then he was just grinding, and
that just must hurt.
Yeah, I mean he would hit great shots, but it's just like it was hard for him to put together that full day, especially when the conditions were tough. So hopefully Brooks will get healthy soon, and be healthy for the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship and the Open Championship. We're finally going to have an Open Championship again.
The Olympics, is he on the team?
He would make it right now. I don't. I know that. I don't know when that cuts off. I'm actually curious about that. But it will be soon that they'll pick the
overall team.
Yeah, because it's the top 4 ranked
players in the world.
Yeah, players by.
Well, Americans, obviously.
Yeah, you get automatically if you're in the top, however, like, whatever it is. I don't know exactly how it works, but if you're in the top 50 in the world and your country, you can have up to 4 from that top 50. They automatically qualify. So, as of right now, it would be Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, and Bryson DeChambeau.
Bryson didn't play too well. He was getting it was like red Bryson. He was pretty angry on Sunday. He was on the struggle bus.
His whole attitude, that's the reason I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
He just comes across as like a tool about like everything. It's like the wind. Where's the wind? Where you told me the wind was up. And he's like 12 yards deep. It's like, come on, man. Like sometimes you just don't hit it. Like sometimes you just don't do well. Like I get that you're like Mr. Science and like if you feel like your calculations are good and it should just automatically go in. Well, you taunt Augusta and Augusta's gonna slap you because he always comes in and he's like, well, based on my playing, Augusta's more like a par 67. It's like, why?
Clearly not yet.
Yeah, dude.
So he shot over par.
Yeah, he's kind of a tool. So, or at least he comes across as one. I actually don't know if he is one. I just like the way he talks, especially about like his equipment and like his approach and like the way he complains. I can't. But
actually, not our dogs for once, huh?
Hey, not our puppy pals.
Not our puppy pals.
Anyway, Bryson would be on the Olympic team though. Final Masters thoughts. I love Augusta, it's beautiful as always.
I loved the day. How the course played every day was great. It was varying. It was good. I liked it.
I really love
the
that
restart.
I love that they brought drones to Augusta now. They do that drone shot of them walking from 16 tee to 16 green along that pond, and it just is like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yep. Oh, and like Amen Corner did not disappoint.
Nope.
I guess Augusta. Augusta did not disappoint.
Chris Vernon and his Masters updates
did not disappoint. Quality.
High quality content right there. Well, this week the guys on the PGA Tour are at the RBC Heritage at Harbortown Golf Links in Hilton Head, South Carolina. So
I like the course.
Beautiful vistas.
I like it. I like
it's
that
a good
event.
Golf course,
yeah, but golf people, it's not a non-golf fan thing, obviously.
Yeah, I mean it's the week after a major, so a lot of guys take it off. It should be. It's good to watch. It's good to turn on. Should be.
We like golf, so
we love golf.
You get to play golf this weekend.
I am playing golf this weekend. Excited about that.
I guess. Sorry, I just jumped right in highs and lows. Probably
highs and lows.
Yeah.
Let's first let's close the clubhouse. It's time to shut her down for the night.
Hat hair, visor hair, same thing.
Weekly ING. Commish, you'll be happy to know. We talked EPL earlier. I finally jumped on the Ted Lasso train. We've already burned through like 7 episodes. It's just too easy to binge. It's just great television. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, I can't give a recommendation higher. It's funny. It's wholesome. There's lessons, but it's
a lot of
hilarious.
Heart.
It's got references that are fun, especially if you're from
Kansas.
But even if you're just like an American sports fan, there's a lot of great references. It's just great. It's
takes
really high quality TV,
and it takes the tropes. It's like tilts it like 1 degrees or 2 degrees, and you're just like, dude, this is good. I told you. I've watched it twice. I'll probably watch it again now that you're watching it.
It's great.
It's fantastic.
Ted Lasso. I've also today, my today, your yesterday.
Whoa.
My today, your yesterday. The Fast Furious 9 trailer dropped today.
I haven't seen it. I didn't even know there was a new trailer to be.
It's wicked.
Is it?
We'll watch it after this.
Oh, how bad is it?
It's bad.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I love the Fast and
John Cena, bro.
Oh yeah. No, totally. Oh god.
And Han is back. Yes.
Yeah. Do they bring back Gal Gadot somehow?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. I doubt it.
I don't think so though.
She rolled down the runway, was captured by wolves, or nursed back to health by wolves, and she shows up in like a fucking Knight Rider because fuck it. Like,
what if she just like shows up as Wonder Woman?
Even
crossover
better. Bring it, man.
Yeah, because actually that was her life for a while as Wonder Woman. She was the girl in Fast and the Furious, like out there riding like motorcycles and shit.
I'm sure there's a theory. I'm sure we could prove it somehow. They have roads in Wonder Woman.
Dude, yeah.
Fucking egg cotton.
Diana, she's just out here like rolling with Dom Toretto and his crew for a while. Got tired of being a fucking hero.
She could drive an invisible car.
All right. So we're going to watch that. If you haven't watched it, it is dope if you're into the Fast and Furious movies, but I watched that today. Made me very happy.
Yeah, and then I watched Under Siege 2, and Hard to Kill this weekend, which, if you don't know, are all OG Steven Seagal movies. Oh, man. It was awesome. All the plots are the same.
Of bad action movies.
Oh, God, they were awesome. So much. I've seen him a bunch of times. Like, I fucking love Steven Seagal. But, like, and especially in Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of his...
Movie. It's a classic.
He runs. And he runs very odd, if you will. So it's like you can tell in his later movies they never show him running because he just kind of runs weird. And it's a little so you get to see him running in Hard to Kill. Oh god. So good. At one point 2 trains collide. He's in the train. One of them's like a petrol train, and one's a one's a passenger train, and they collide. He's inside, and he gets like shoved back a little and just gets up and then runs out the back. And it's like, yeah, you did. Like, it's so good. And so that was what I was watching this weekend, apart from like golf. I highly recommend any of those movies. All right.
All right.
Listening. What about you? Anything?
I'm listening to a new I've been stuck on this Spotify playlist, and it's like it's Spotify created, so like shout out Spotify, your algorithms work, whatever. It's called Park Hangs, and it's like I don't know, just like really easy to listen to, like indie, like funk, like
Nice
music. It's just like really easy, like just to sit outside and have on in the background. You're not really trying to listen to something too much, but you just want like pleasant background music and stuff that makes you feel in a good mood. Like this is great for that.
That's how I feel about Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
do they play it on that, or have you got that far yet? How many songs are on it?
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot then. Awesome. All right, I'm still on that Mystery of the Blue Train audiobook. I think I have like an hour and a half left. Hercule Poirot is on the case. And I watched an episode of on like Brit TV, put some of the old like old BBC Agatha Christie mysteries on there. So I watched an episode. I watched 2 of those episodes last night.
Nice.
Just I don't know why I do the things that I do.
I don't know why you are the way you are. But anyway. All right, highs and lows. My high is my birthday week, which I'm not really the biggest birthday fan, I'm a fan of my birthday. I'm not the biggest like birthday person. I don't like,
Don't Michael Scott it up.
yeah, it's not like crazy big deal to me, but
I'm the same
I do
way.
enjoy like it's cool when people like want to do stuff for you and whatnot. Like we're going to dinner tomorrow with some friends.
Excuse to go golfing.
Yeah, I'm gonna play golf this weekend. Like
At a very difficult course. Or no, you're not doing
not this weekend. No,
Nah,
I am
yeah.
playing I got a gift with a round for golf and like all the stuff. It's all great.
Mm-hmm.
So birthday week is cool. My low is just the news. Not going too much further into it.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
Seeing the testimonies at the biggest crime, I only could handle watching because when the dude said he was like afraid to call, it's like
The testimony,
or call the police on the police. That's so
the
fucked.
testimony's bad, and then also, I mean, all the stuff with the Deontay Wright shooting and the
Oh yeah, just
officer, the lieutenant, and the lieutenant medic that got pulled over and pepper sprayed and stuff. It's all very
It's
depressing.
disgusting.
And disgusting, and that's my low because
All right, mine's
it's a worthy
slightly
low in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh god. But my shitty drive. We went to the driving range yesterday, and like it was the exact opposite how I swung the course, like the club on the course last time I played golf. So that sucked.
It's a fickle game, man.
It is. I think we talked about it. I think I'll go back. Anyway, that's what I think that's it for me. What about you, man?
Well, your high was halfway to COVID shot.
Oh, wait, I didn't do my high.
half,
Yeah,
yeah.
halfway to COVID shot, and then the Royals are playing well.
They are. They won again today.
Yes, 6
to 1.
Yeah, keep it going, man. It's
Go
better than
Royals,
losing.
man. Go Royals, and make sure you go to Waffle House because I know that's where I'm going.
Like halfway there, and we're going.
Yeah, we are only one shot away from an Waffle House, which is a thing that I've probably said at a bar a bunch of times.
I'm pretty sure thousands, if not millions, of Americans.
We're one shot away from a Waffle House trip, okay?
And it'll be great You know my theory. Anyway, deuces.
Deuces.